Nature has been laying the groundwork for humans along the Journey Through Time Scenic Byway for many millions of years.
Up until about 5 million years ago, we were creating fossils in layers. We were building this cake up of layers with these neat little fossils in them. And then about 5 million years ago, we stopped building the cake, and I would like to call it fossil fruit cake, okay, with little bits and pieces in it, and then started tearing away at it and uncovering the fossils.
To the east and the west of the John Day Fossil Beds National Monument on Highway 19, humans have changed the landscape. But here in the middle, nature was and is dominant. Since our travels rarely, if ever, begin in the middle, this journey starts about where pioneers first came to Oregon, from the east.
If you were to travel the journey through time from east to west, the first third of this route has many different topics. The main topic being gold and timber. There's sites that talk about a little railroad line through there. You'll also have some of the most scenic views because of the mountain peaks. There's a couple peaks over 9,000 feet.
As they do today, those mountains, the blues, held a lure for the adventuresome. But back when pioneers were still searching for physical riches, it was yellow metal that ensnared them. While little of the metal remains, physical remnants of the gold rush, like the huge Sumter dredge, still dot the landscape for travelers to see and get a feel for what life was like back in the day.
An event that occurred in 1862 that kind of changed everything, and that was that word gold and the gold strike, and the miners that came through just changed the whole cultural landscape here.
The old ghost town of Whitney tells a story of success, failure, and the social upheaval that came to this part of Oregon.
Whitney as a ghost town is a remnant of the past, and it does represent the life around here and how it's changing.
People from all points of the globe came here in pursuit of riches. North, south, west, and east, the Far East. Thousands of Chinese laborers, and their legacy is preserved along this route. The Kam Wah Chung Museum, or Golden Flower of Prosperity, a National Historic Landmark, recalls the contributions of early Chinese settlers.
What I think is really cool about Kam Wah Chung is that everything got left. So it's very much a time capsule. You walk in the building and you step back in time about 50, 60 years. This was the main community hall for, I would say, the Chinese community. Da K and Lungan, the proprietors of the business, ran a general store, doctor's office, gambling hall, social center, religious house.
Leaving the human record behind, this journey through time snakes to the west through what we've come to call the Columbia basalt lava flows.
When you drive up and down the valley along the John Day River, you will see a lot of basalt lava flow layers along the tops of the ridge lines.
Picture Gorge is the southern portal to the John Day Fossil Beds National Monument, a collection of 3 widely diverse palettes of natural wonders in Central Oregon, as alien a landscape as there is on planet Earth.
Here, you're dropping down in elevation and deeper into the layers and into time, and we're talking about cattle. As far as the human culture, the industry here, we're talking about recreation on the river, fishing, rafting. We're talking about the John Day fossil beds themselves. Sheeprock Peak is one of the icons of paleontology around the world. When you look at it, it rises above the river about 1,200 feet. That's a lot. There's a lot of layers in there, and most of it is fossil-bearing layers. Blue Basin is a continuation of the layers that you see in Sheeprock Peak, the green layers. It is pretty famous in paleontology because some of the early paleontologists in the 1800s went up there and discovered many different animal fossils, particularly in the layers there. It represents volcanic explosion layers, but we call it pyroclastic flows, ash flow tuffs. It is a very scenic place too. There's beautiful trails that go up there on the overlook and into it. The Clarno Palisades were basically flows from volcanic activity, much like ash flow tuffs with the Mount St. Helens eruption. So there was a series of ash flow tuffs and mud flows filled with hot volcanic ash, encompassing and engulfing and tearing apart a near tropical jungle. The Clarno Palisades are about 300 feet in height. A lot of the orangey red colors come from iron oxides that are in there, and they oxidize when they're exposed to the air today. The Painted Hills, because of the clays that are there, the bentonite clays, hold water very tightly, and it's very difficult for roots to get in there. So that's why they're kind of barren from plants. And they're smooth, and they almost look like ice cream in the sense of smoothing out and melting ice cream in many ways in the sense of the colors.
West to Antelope and Shaniko, travelers moved from 50 million years ago or so to a time once again where humans changed a landscape that today remains about the same as when pioneers first settled the area. The lifestyle of those days is preserved at the Sherman County Museum in Morrow. It's here we learn about how pioneers came, turned scrubland into wheat fields, and continued the way of life established by kinfolk generations ago. North of Morrow, travelers once again come upon the Columbia basalts on the northwestern leg of this journey through time. This is wheat country, where hardy farmers depend upon the natural cycle of rain and sun to bring their wheat crops into fruition. It also brings us to the northern portal of the journey, linked once again to the pioneers who came to Oregon over the Oregon Trail. In the full day it takes to drive and enjoy the journey through time, travelers make their way from today to 50 million years ago and back again. The experts say that you should plan a couple of days to fully appreciate the riches it offers, a land where humans may have changed the landscape, but only in a way that was paved by nature from long ago.